you over there. Been crawling underneath this truck, trying to get this tank out. Ew. A bug. Ew. I figured I'd take y'all along for the journey, trying to get this tank changed. And that's the big old box for the tank over there. I already got the old tank out, and boy, was it fun. But anyways, welcome to the channel. Hey, by the way, guys, if you haven't liked, comment, shared, subscribe, do all that bunch of doohickey junk, make sure you do it. So that way you can get some more of this cornbread content trying to push out. You got me? You better. So if you couldn't tell, there's a big 19-gallon rusted tank right behind me. Going to go on Facebook Marketplace for $150. It's just been used. A little surface rust, but you take a grinder and make sure you get in there real hard and make sure you're throwing a bunch of sparks around. This thing will come out brand new. I promise you. I'm just kidding. Don't go buy a used gas tank off Facebook Marketplace and throw a grinder to it. First thing I went and done was I took the filler neck off. And it's not hard. You know, it's them 3 little small screws that go right in here, and it pretty much, you know, detaches itself. Then you have to go underneath on this side of the bed. And I like to go ahead and loosen both clamps and just remove the filler neck from the hose. Makes it easier when you're trying to drop the tank. I went ahead and removed the bolt and nut for the front part of the tank. And you can try your hardest to get that nut out without making that bolt move, but it will absolutely not happen unless that bolt is welded to the frame with years of rust. And if it's like that, 9 times out of 10, it's just going to break off. The underneath of this truck is actually in pretty decent shape, so I know the front bolt's good, but still that doesn't mean anything, because when I went to go work on the back half of the tank and getting the back strap removed, all I did was took the jack, let down the front end side, so that way I could move the jack over here to the middle of the tank. I probably got maybe 10 gallons worth of gas in here, probably a little less. And then this strap just decides to disintegrate mid-air. Poof! Gone. No more strap at all. And so that made my job easier because I won't have to deal with the tank, you know, getting it down, but I still got to go underneath there and fight that bolt and see if I can get it loose. It's a good thing I went on Rock Auto and went ahead and purchased new straps. I confirmed that the front one is the right one, and I'm hoping the rear one is the right one as well. I took the filler neck, you know, wire brushed it down the best I could and sprayed it. The Pro Essentials, straight from Dollar General, $5-6 a can. Rust preventative. I used it on the bench seat of this truck, so I think it's going to work good for the filler neck and the straps. The one thing that I'm not going to do that I probably should do is change the sending unit. I know it looks rough. I'm going to try to clean it up the best I can. It's got some pretty rough, you know, varnish and rust on it, and the top end's full of gunk, but it's what I got to work with for now. I probably should have went ahead and bought one, but honestly, who needs a fuel gauge? I mean, you know, just guesstimate it. If your truck starts hopping and skipping while it's going uphill or going downhill or whichever way the gas is low in the tank, then you know you need to fill it up. And when you go to the gas station, you know, whenever it clicks, you know it's full. So that's all that matters. This does look rough, and I know I won't have a pickup sock, and I could probably replace that, but I'm not worried about it. I have an inline fuel filter, and I have a filter, you know, at the carburetor, so I'm not too worried about it. As long as I can get this clean, and as long as it'll pick up fuel and send it to the motor, that's all that matters to me for right now. I've worked with worse, and I can definitely, you know, make this work. I know you probably can't see how discolored that gas is in there. I pumped some out, and it is straight up dark yellow. I'm going to go ahead and get all this gas out of this tank, get that bolt and that nut from that strap underneath there off, vacuum a little bit and get some things cleaned up before we put the new tank underneath there. And then I'll get back with y'all on the progress. All right, so I'm back. I finally got that bolt out. It took forever. I was fighting back there with it, and it started rounding off. So I had to take the old trusty vice grip and plant her down on there real tight. It come out. I was surprised, but it did come out. And now I'm going to try to work on this sending unit. It does look pretty bad. I mean, the filth and the grime on this thing is just terrible. And then just the rust. You can tell where the sock just disintegrated and how much this just over time just sitting in that gas. I guess the moisture that was released from the gas and maybe just the tank sweating and just sitting. That gas, whenever it sits, it tends to eat up stuff, and you can really tell because it's got places here, all the way down through here. This is just tarnished real bad. Sock's completely gone, like I said. So I hate that I have to put this back in that new tank, but it is what it is. I didn't know exactly which one of these I needed to order, and I think they made like 2 or 3 different ones. One thing I knew for sure was, since this was a long wheelbase pickup, that it had the 19-gallon tank, because I'm pretty sure the 16-gallon tank only came in some of the short bed 2-wheel drive models, maybe the F100s, I'm not sure. I got this tank outside in the light a little bit just so you can see what's going on. I mean, look at that. All that nastiness that's in there. This is just what you deal with if you've had a truck that's sit for a very long time. And you're really taking a risk putting gas in it and trying to run the truck like it is. Don't get me wrong, you can do it, especially if you put an inline filter and just keep on changing them filters. But you run into some trash, you know, getting passed by, and then it clogs up the filter to the carburetor. Those filters don't catch the fine dust and sediment that runs past. It just catches the big chunks. So all that fine, you know, rust and dirt and everything that's in there goes straight to the filter on the carburetor, and it probably doesn't filter it through. So then it gets in your carburetor, and then it gums up your carburetor. So you're just better off just to spend the money. Go ahead and get a new tank. I went ahead and painted my bolts that's going to go underneath there. I had to grab a new one for this one because I stripped the head, and it's a little bit shorter, but it ain't going to make a difference. Hey, use what you got, and if it works, what does it matter? And over there's my filler neck. I tried to clean it up the best I could. I got the fire going so that way it'll really bake this paint on, because it's been cold around here, you know, a few days, and I know how paint, you know, doesn't like to stick when it's cold, and it doesn't like to do right. And there's my new straps that's going to go on. Well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and get at it and get this new gas tank unboxed and put everything together. Figured I would bring y'all along for the unboxing. I've already had a sneak peek. I just taped it back up for y'all. Oh yeah. Pull this sucker out. Oh, come on, you devil. Get out of that box. There. Box. Come on now. Hey. Use your belly as resistance for the box, so that way your product will slide right out. Go on now. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah. Fresh from Taiwan. I'm sure everything will fit up just nice. Ooh, that fit nice. Ooh, that fit nice. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Yep. I did spend the money and buy me a new fuel tank vent valve and the seal just to go with it. The old seal, whenever I took it off, was just tore all to pieces. And I think somebody in the comment section on one of my other videos said to buy a new one of these that over time these can get clogged up and stop up and cause you to have bad gas mileage. I don't know how much, but I'm trying to get every bit of gas mileage I can out of this old sewing machine. There we go. Got that in. Didn't even have to use no grease. Pop this thing in. There we go with that. I think that's as far as she goes. Maybe. No. No, she goes a little farther. There we go. There we go. Got that on there. That looks great. Went and got a couple new clamps. Put on this thing. See what the problem is? Problem number one. Alright, we'll have to do something here. There we go. Yeah. You up a little bit. Lift you up a little bit. Lift you up a little bit. Lift you up a little bit. A little better. Only thing is making it hard is the fact that I gotta sit here and hold it down. There we go. There we go. Alright. All up against all sides. She ain't coming out of there. Looking good. Alright, here we go. Let's see where we need to go with it. Okay. Hose needs to go right there. Well, we got the tank in, but I'm gonna tell you, I had to fight those straps to get them put on there. I don't know why they just didn't make them pre-molded from the factory. Straps look a little crooked. The tank probably ain't exactly where it's supposed to be, but it fit up on there. The line ain't crinkled. The vent valve is vent valving, and the hose is hooked up to it. And my filler neck hose looks like it's in the right spot. So I'm gonna get my metal filler neck, put it on there, and I'm gonna bolt it up. And then I'm gonna throw this gas back in here. And I'm gonna try to start her and see if I got any leaks. And if I don't, I think that's all I'm gonna do for tonight. It's been a long couple of days, but it's been a good couple of days. It's been needed. I got a late start working on this thing yesterday. Not everything has went how I wanted it to, but sometimes that's how life works. Not everything goes how you want it to or how you planned. You just gotta, roll with the kicks as they come along. It's been, last time I was in this garage, it's when I got the call that my pawpaw was unresponsive. And when I pulled down the driveway, the EMT workers were in here and they was trying to revive him. He was over here, just had got done finished with a Chrysler he'd been working on for a pretty good while. He always worked on the cars that he had himself and tried to fix them the best way he knew how. He wasn't no master mechanic by any means, but he taught me a lot. And it's took me a while to build up the courage to come back down here and, work on something in this garage. It's just, hard having the memories and everything. But one thing that the good Lord taught me yesterday is I was getting ready to come down here, and my little girl came out the front door, and she said, "Daddy, can I come work on your truck with you?" And at first I wasn't going to let her, but then I was like, "Yeah, come on." And then that's when I realized that, my pawpaw taught me everything that he could have possibly taught me. Gave me that solid foundation, which was Jesus Christ. And my pawpaw was a pastor, and he taught me about God, taught me right from wrong, life lessons, how to work on vehicles. He's helped me work on many of my vehicles, and he's bought me a couple too when I made some stupid decisions on selling or trading. He helped me out. But that's one thing that God showed me, is I'm to teach my kids the way to go up, and I pray that I have the most knowledge and wisdom that I can, so that way I can help them out the best way I can possible, and that it really helps them. The same way if they have grandkids later on. I want to be that pawpaw that they look up to. One day, just like pawpaw, when my number is called, I'll leave out of here and go to heaven, and hopefully I'll leave them with something that they'll never forget. And the main thing, that being, is for them to know Jesus, and for him to come in their heart, and for them to be a believer and just follow in his footsteps. I make mistakes. Everybody does. It doesn't matter what we did in life. He's there to always love us and forgive us every time that we mess up. That, and to make sure that they know what real quality is made out of. Get some of these old clunkers that's being set. Don't get none of this new junk that's sitting on a car lot. And if that happens, my wife is going to hate that, because she hates it when I junk up the yard. Alright, she's all put back together. We'll put this gas in here, start it up, run it a little bit, check for leaks, and see where we're at. Here's a moment of truth. Don't want to do that too much in this closed up garage. Shoo! Ain't got no cats to filter out the exhaust. No, but I think that's going to do it for today. Been working on this thing the past couple days trying to get that tank put on underneath there. You know, I've been taking my time with it. Been coming down here basically when I have time, which has been, you know, more in the evening times. I just work on it when I can. That's the best way to do it, you know. When you get a little free time, take your free time, go work on your truck, or go hunting, go fishing, or just to get your mind off things. Really helps. Working on copper one piece at a time, and sooner or later, he'll be in good tip-top shape, and I won't have to worry about working on him for a while. But as always, we'll see y'all fellers later.